So, hi everyone, good morning. So, today we are going to discuss about mathematics and general education together with my group mates. So, we are going to solve problems, try to solve different kind of problems in mathematics. First, we have here a 10-meter board lands against the wall. The foot of the board is 8 meters from the wall. Now the board is 6 meters up the wall. So how do we get this 6 meters up the wall? So we're going to um, have this formula. We're going to use this formula. This one. Okay. So since the board length is 10, so we have here 10 minus 8. So 10 to the exponent of 2 minus 8 to the exponent of 2, since we are going to follow the formula here. And 10 times 10, we have here 100. And 8 times 8, we have 64. So 100 minus 64 equals 36. So we are going to get the square root of 36. So we have here 6. So the answer is 6 meters up the wall. Second, we have a ball is drawn at random from box containing 6 red balls, 4 white balls, and 5 blue. So, ang gipanginta niya is, what is the probability of a white balls? So, yun sa man pagkuha ning 4/15. Now, we are going to add 6 plus 4 plus 5 equals 15. And it is how simply it is. We have 6/15, 4/15, and 5/15. Now the question is, pila daw ang probability sa white lang? So we have here 4/15. Okay. So next we have a conjecture is a proportion which is consistent with known data but has neither been verified nor shown to be false. So another problem here, we have a cube has a volume of 64 cubic meters. Now, ang atong pangitaon is ang iyang dimension. So the dimension is already stated there, but we are going to dig deeper how it is answered. Okay. So, recognize that the volume of a cube is given by the formula volume equals 8 to the power of 3. So, the 8 there is the sides, the each side or the length. Okay, so kung atong naon is dili siya pwede kung 1 kay dili pud siya maabot og given the volume, di ba 64 man ang cubic meters, so dili siya maabot when we say 1 times 1 equals 1 times 1 equals 1. So since all the sides of the cube should be equal, so musulay ta sa 2 times 2 4 times 2 8, dili po siya kabutog 64. How about 3 times 3 9 times 3 27, so dili po siya. So we'll try to 4. Okay, 4 times 4 16 times 4, that will give us the volume of 64 cubic meters. Okay, gets? So next, we have a function is a relation for which each volume from the set of the first components of the ordered pairs is associated with exactly one value from the set of second components of the ordered pair. So we have here a problem. So a pair of shoes originally priced at Philippine peso 600 is being sold at a discount of 30%. Okay, so naa na diri ang answer. Now, unsaon man ni nato pagkuha para makuha ning answer? Okay, inanira siya. 600 times 0.30, pila man ang answer na? That will give us 180. Okay, 180. Now, para makuha na to, so 180 ang atong less. Ang price sa shoes, original price sa shoes is 600. So 600 minus 180, mo na siya mabayaran na to kung paliton na to ang shoes. Okay. So that will give us 600 minus 180, that will give us 420. Okay. 420. So nagets? Okay, so next we have here another problem. A picture frame is 27 cm long and 18 cm wide. The ratio of its length to its width is 3:2. Diyon sa man pagkuha kaning length to its width, nganong na 3:2. Okay, inani siya. So di ba the length of the length of the picture frame is 27, then ang iyang width is 18. So we are just going to have this 27 over 18, and then we are going to reduce that. We're going to reduce by 3. Okay, imagine 27 over 18 reduce it by 3. Okay, 27 divided by 3 is 9. 18 divided by 3 is 18 divided by 3, that is okay, 6. Okay, so again we will reduce it again para makuha na to ang iyaang length to its width. So again we will reduce it by 3, and 9 divided by 3 equals 3, and 6 divided by 3 equals 2. So that will give us 3/2, or 3:2. Okay. So inana ra siya. Okay, another one. A recipe calls for 2 eggs for every cup of flour. If a head chef uses 28 cups of flour, he will need 56 eggs. Okay, 56 eggs. So, if we were going to imagine, in a cup of flour na ay 2 eggs, magamit ta og 2 eggs. Kung ang head chef magamit og 28 cups of flour, that will give us 56 eggs, and we will get that by simply multiplying 2 times 28 cups, since in a cup of flour na ay 2 eggs, so that will give us 56 eggs. Gets? Okay. So here we have a rectangular solid have 8 vertices. A regular solid where the length, width, and height are equal is called a cube. So always put that in your minds that an equal length, width, and height is what we call, yes, what we call the cube. Okay. Okay, we also have here a set of all possible outcomes of random experiment is called a sample space. Okay, a sample space is a set of all possible outcomes of a random experiment, and that's what we call sample space. And ang statement that is called biconditional if the connective if and only if ang gigamit. Okay. Third, we have a theorem. It's a statement that can be demonstrated to be true by accepted mathematical operation and arguments. So, another problem we have here, a water pipe which is 10 feet long was cut into with a shorter part measuring 2 feet. Okay. Ang ratio of the smaller part to the larger part is 1:3. Okay. Now, if the shorter part of the water pipe measures 2.5 feet, then the longer part must measure 10 to 2.5 equals 7.5 feet. So the ratio of the shorter part to the larger part is 2.5 to 7.5 equals 1.3. So mauna na siya. So this means that for every one unit of length in the shorter part, there are three units of length in the larger part. So that's what we come up with. 1:3. Okay. So next we have a water tank contains 8 liters when it is 20% full. When it is 75 full, it contains 30 liters. Yun sa man pagkuha ang 30 liters diha. Okay. So, imagine, come to think of it, that 20% has 8 liters kung mapuno. Now, ang gihatag diri is, kung 75%, pila man ka liters. Okay, so, kung sa 60 pa lang daan, tulo na siya ka 20, right? 60 pa lang daan, tulo na siya ka 20. So, naana siya tulo ka 8. So, 8 times 3, we have 24. Okay, 24. Now, di ba, sa 60 na tataman, so 75% man tanan, so napay 15%. So, kung atong huna-hunaon, 20% is equivalent to 8 liters man. So, atong i-break down daw. Sa 5, imagine ha, sa 5, naa siya 2 liters, di ba? Kay kung 20 o 8, kung 20%, di ba, 8 letters man. So, sa 5% na siya tag 2 ka letters. I-divide lang na siya, divide. And, now, mubalik ta sa 75%. Sa 15% nga nabilin. So, sa 15% na siya 6 ka letters. Di ba, ganina kay 60 man to, tulo ka 20. Na siya 24. Kay tulo ka 8 naman daan. Na siya 24. And then, ada na tuog ka ng 6 liters sa 15% nga nabilin. So, that will give us that when it is 75% full ang water tank, it contains 30 liters. Gets ra? So, next we have A close open parenthesis B plus C plus D has the same value with AB plus AC plus AD. So, it says here that algebra tiles are usually used with a multi-based arithmetic blocks and developing numeration concepts. So, always put it in your minds that all right angles are equal. All right angles are equal. Gani na gani, natay katong so gani tawag anang equal length, height and width. Equal length, height and width, that is what we called cube. Okay. So I guess the next slide will be discussed by Miss Chico Hansinal. Thank you.
Cardinal numbers are numbers that are used to measure the number of elements in a given set. So for example, Cherish obtained the following results from her math examination. So every math examination, she got 82, 83, 85, and 90. So these are the example of given set. So the score that must she get in the next examinations so that her average score is 90. Dyscalculia is a learning disability in math. So meaning people who have dyscalculia struggles with numbers and math because their brains don't process math related concepts. So for example, they have difficulty in recognizing numbers, have delayed in learning to count, need to use visual aids like fingers to help count. So that is dyscalculia. So next is ethnomathematics. Is the mathematics that is pervasive, identifiable cultural groups. So meaning the beliefs that different cultures have evolved in different ways of using mathematics, and that students or pupil or that child will learn best if they taught in the ways that related to their ancestral culture. George Danzig invented a method of determining the optimal values of a linear function subject to certain constraints. This method is known as linear programming. So meaning, ang naka-invent sa linear programming or the father of the linear programming is si George Danzig. Next is si George Polya, is also known as the father of the problem solving. So given the 25 C times mod 12 or modulus 12, the value of x is 1. Given that a equals bracket negative 4, negative 2, 0, 2, 4, and b equals bracket negative 4, negative 2, 0, 3, 4. So as you can see, sa ubos na a, u, b equals bracket, iyaranggi gisulat every number nga nakita niya sa a and b. Murag i-combine na niya ba? Yang gi-bring down ang negative 4, negative 2, then 0. As you can see, walay 2 sa b. So, iyang gisulat 2 and then 3, then 4. Her weight on the 4th week is 58 kilogram. Next, if A equals 9 times 23 and B equals 9 times 24, then B minus A equals 909. So, atong i-compute. A equals 9 times 23. So, 9 times 23 is equal to 207. And B equals 9 times 124 is equals to 1,116. So, i-minus daw nato si A, si B, and si A. So, it was 1,116 rather, minus 207 is equal to 909. Next, if a die is rolled in the probability of getting a number divisible by 2 is 1/2. If a pair of angles is complementary and equal in measure, each angle measures 45 degrees. Next, if each sack of rice contains 23 1/3 kilogram, then 15 sacks of rice weighs 350 kilograms. If two angles have their respective legs parallel, they are equal or supplementary. So, mo na siya permitting hinumduman. If two angles gani, mo na siya supplementary. Imposing is not a part of the core cognitive process. So, take note of it is not a part of the core cognitive process. Direct indirect proof or contrapositive proof is a type of proof in which a statement to be proved is assumed false, and if the assumption leads to an impossibility, then the statement assumed false has been proved to be true. Inductive reasoning is the process of reaching a general conclusion by examining specific examples.
Hey, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, or whatever time you may watch this video. So today you'll be learning about different topics in math. So let's have here the first slide. So Jacob Bernoulli is an 18th century Swiss mathematician that introduced the law of large numbers. So in his The Art of Conjecture, in statistics, this implies that the larger the sample, the more likely will the sample become representative of the population. So for the other context, if we roll the dice 3 times and the outcome were 6, 6, and 3, the average result is 5. So according to the law of large numbers, if we roll the dice in a large number of times, then the average result will be closer to the expected value. Did you get it? Yeah, the more we roll the dice in a large number of times, then the more likely we'll get the expected value. Okay, so next here, let P be the statements, then the contrapositive. So for the other context for this is that, let's say for example, if a shape, contrapositive, if a shape is not a triangle, then the shape doesn't have 3 sides. So that is an example of a contrapositive. Next, here, mean is a measurement of central tendency that is not influenced by outliers. So what do you mean by outliers? So these are the single data point that goes far outside the average value. So that is the outliers. So let's have here an example. One side of a cube is 3 centimeter, the ratio of its volume, with another cube whose side is 5 centimeter is 27 per 1 to 5. Okay, so now only 682 examinees pass in social work licensure examination out of 2,550 examinees, which is equivalent to 26.7%. So how did they get the 26.7% based on the number of examinees? So the first thing to do is to divide the number of examinees, divide 682 examinees who passed the licensure examination to the total number of examinees. So after that one, the answer for this is 267. So in getting the percentage, you have to multiply it by 100 to get the 26.7%. So that is the passing rate. Okay, again, you have to divide the total examinees who pass the licensure examination to the total number of examinees. So in getting the percentage, you have, after that one, you have to multiply it by what? Multiply it by 100 to get the percentage. Okay. Next, polygon is a hexagon. So why is it? So how many sides does a hexagon have? Okay, the polygon has what? The hexagon has 6 polygons. Okay, that is why the polygon is a hexagon. Okay, next. Precious is twice as old as 2 years ago. The difference of their present age is 7. So Precious present age is 16 years old. Next, sound intensity, which is measured using decibel scale, also uses common logarithm. So decibel is named after the Alexander Graham Bell. So who is Alexander Graham Bell? Okay, so Alexander Graham Bell is also the inventor of the telephone. Okay, so Alexander Graham Bell is also the inventor of the telephone. So decibel, what do you mean by decibel? Okay, decibel is the unit used to express the intensity of a sound. So in getting the intensity of a sound, they use the decibel scale. So remember that this decibel is named after Alexander Graham Bell. So next, the 10th number in the sequence 15, 23, 31 is 87. So how did they get the 87? So all they have to do to get the 87 and the 10th number based on the sequence is you'll just add 8 every number. So let's say, for example, 15 plus 8 is 23, plus 23 plus 8 is 31, and go and so on so forth until you get the 10th number, which is the 87. Okay, next. So the 16th century is the era where the importance of mathematics is in science stimulated a new mathematics culture where heavy emphasis was given to the proper instrument for measuring, observing, calculating, and recording. So based on the information during the 16th century, this era where they give importance to the mathematics wherein it is used in many aspects. Yeah, math is used in many aspects, like in measuring, observing, calculating, and recording information. So during that time, math plays a really important part in every aspect. So 3D models. So, are manipulative materials that would help the students discover the formula for the surface area and volume of prism and pyramid. 3D models. I know all of you already know about the 3D model. Mhm. Pyramid. Okay, the approximate shape of the earth is sphere. Okay, sphere. That is the approximate shape of the earth. Okay, that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you get something from that discussion. And if you do have any questions, just um, raise your answer. You can raise your answer by um, yeah.
Alright, so to continue with the report, so the least common multiple of 2, 3, and 4 is 12. So how do we get the 12? So the LCM of 2, 3, and 4 can be obtained by multiplying prime factors raised to their respective highest power. For example, 2 to the power of 2 times 3 to the power of 1, we get the result of 12. Hence, the LCM of 2, 3, and 4 by prime factorization is 12. Okay, next. So the measure of an angle is 25 more than its supplement. The measurement of the larger angle is 102.5 degrees. Okay, next slide. So the sum of three consecutive integers is 123. These three integers are 40, 41, and 42. Next, so the total amount after adding 8% interest for 3 months on 6,000 pesos of is 120. So how do we get 120? So simple interest is equal to 6,000 times 0.0067 times 3 simple interest, 3 simple interest, you'll get the result of 120.6 approximately. So the simple interest of 6,000 at 8% for 3 months is approximately 120. The total amount after adding interest of 8% on 10,000 for 3 years is 12,400. Okay, so how do we solve this? Solving this equation gives us the total amount of 10,000 times 1.24 is equal to 12,400. This means that after 3 years, you will have accumulated a total of 12,400 at an 8% simple interest rate. Okay, next slide. So there are 120 ways to arrange 5 girls to be seated in a row of 5 seats. Okay, so how do we get that 120 ways? So there can be 5 girls selected for the first seat. Then there are 4 girls to select for the second seat. Then there are 3 girls to select for the third seat. Then there are just 2 girls to select from the fourth seat. Then there's just one left girl for the fifth and final seat. Therefore, the number of ways to seat 5 girls in 5 seats is 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1 will get 20 times 6 times 1. We'll get the result of 120 times 1. So 120 times 1 is 120. So there are 120 different ways to seat 5 girls in 5 chairs. So next, there are 25 prime numbers between 1 and 100. Thus, there are 25 prime numbers between 1 and 100. So, what are those prime numbers? We have 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17, 19, 23, 29, 31, 37, 41, 43, 59, 61, 67, 71, 73, 79, 83, 89, 97. All these numbers are divisible by only 1 and the number itself. Alright, next slide. So there are 400
in 75-gram packs of sugar that can be made from a 30-kilogram sack. Okay, so here's the step-by-step explanation. So all you have to do is to convert 30 kilogram to grams. So in 1 kilogram, we have 1,000 grams. So therefore, in 30 kilograms, we have 30,000 grams. So now we have 30,000 grams. For the second step, 30,000 grams divided by 75 grams, so you'll get the result of 400. So the answer is 400. Alright, so next, there are 63 digit numbers that can be formed from the digits 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 without repeating any digit. Alright, next slide. There were two outstanding astronomers who contributed notably to mathematics in the early part of 7th centuries. They are the German named Johann Kepler and the Italian Galileo Galilei. Okay, next. 35 is 6.25% of 560. Alright, so how do we get this? 35 is 6.25% of 560. Okay, so 35 divided by, so 35 in 560 times 100. Okay, so 35 times 100 will get the result of 3,500. So you'll get divided by 560, you'll have the result of 6.25%. So therefore, 35 is 6.25% of 560. Alright, so that would be the end of my report.
Okay, so in continuation of Ma'am Janella, so here's my report. So the sum of the three consecutive integers is 123. So what are those three consecutive integers that which is that the sum of it is 123. So we have 40, 41, and 42. Okay, so if you are going to add that one, so the sum of it is 123. All right, next, the total amount after adding 8% interest for 3 months on 6,000 is 6,120, which is from the capital 6,000, after 3 months, if you are going to get its interest rate, okay, of 8%, so it will have, you can have 120, so plus the capital 6,000, so the total of it is 6,120. Okay, so next, so what is the total amount, what is the 8% of 10,000 in 3 years? So if you are going to add that one, so you can have the total of 12,400. So that is the 8% of 10,000 after 3 years. Okay, next. So there are, it states that there are 120 ways to arrange 5 girls to be seated in a row of 5 seats. So na-share 120 ways. Okay, take note of that. So there are also 126 ways in choosing 5 basketball players from a group of 9 players. Okay? Okay, next. So there are 25 prime numbers between 1 and 100. So there are 25 prime numbers. Next. In a 75-gram packs of sugar, you can made, if you are going to make a 75-gram packs of sugar in out from 30 kilogram sack, you can make it a 400 packs. Okay? So in a 30 kilogram, if you are going to you are going to pack it by tag 75 grams per pack, so makagama ka din haog 400 ka packs. Okay? Next. There are 60 in 3-digit numbers that can be formed from the digits 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 without repeating any digit. Like for example, 346 tag tulo siya ka digit. Okay? And imong ma-form. Okay? And out of that, you can make 60 katag 3-digit numbers. Okay? Do you get that? Okay. So out from 3, 4, 5, and 6. If you are going to say 345, 346, 347, like that. Okay? So naa kay 60 ka ma-form nga numbers without repeating any digit. Okay, next. There were 2 outstanding astronomers. Okay, so in the field of mathematics, there were 2 persons who are known, who have big contribution in the field of mathematics. So who are those? We have German Johann Kepler and Italian Galileo Galilei in the early part of 7th century. Okay, so those are the outstanding astronomers. Next, 35. So what are the 6.25% of 560? So it is 35. So 35 is the 6.25% of 560. Okay, next. In the 3 consecutive numbers, which is 38, 39, and 40, so mo sum up siya og 117. Okay? If you are going to add that one, so mo sum up siya og 17. So, okay? Next. To express that there is a significant difference between the food values of the nutrition student variable 1 and those the nursing students, so which is the variable 2, where x sub 1 is the mean of variable 1 and x sub 2 is the mean of variable 2. So we write it, each a is to x sub 1 times x sub 2. Okay. To have a 25 profit, the vendor should sell the item at 80 pesos. So the vendor's profit is 16 pesos. So kung naa siya'y gibaligya, then kinahanglan niya maka-gain og 25% profit. So what is the 25% of 100? So it is iyang ibaligya siya og 80 pesos para makakuha siya og profit na 16 pesos. Okay. 20% of 60% of 200 is equal to 24. Okay, same ra siya. So 2 seats, we have the seat A and the seat B are said to be disjoint seats if and only if they have mutually exclusive or if they don't have common elements. Okay, take note of that. Pag dili daw sila, if they have they are mutually exclusive or they don't have common elements, so that is what we call disjoint seats. Okay, so 2 seats. Also, we have the set E and set B are said to be equivalent seats if and only if they have the same and exact number of elements. Okay? Next. Okay, so that is for the next reporter.
Okay, again, good morning, good afternoon, or good day, everyone. So let's have here another set of the topic of mathematics. So let's have the first slide. Vea can finish the job alone in 6 days, while Marisol can finish the job alone in 3 days. It will take 2 days for Vea and Marisol finish the job together. So if Vea and Marisol work together, it will take them 2 days to finish the job. Okay, we do problem solving and mathematical investigation to inform research. So, research, as we all know, it involves mathematics, right? The statistics, the population, and the other data that needs math, right? So, so the next, okay, wait, okay. The next three terms in the progression 1 over 1 to 5, 1 over 25, and 1 over 5 is 1, 5, and 25. So the nominal scale is a scale of measurement that concerns with categorical data. So if your data is in the categorized form, then you can use the numeric nominal scale, right? So the number 221 is not a multiple of 11. Can be multiplied by 11. So the pattern of rhythm is said to be the most basic pattern in nature. So pattern of rhythm. Remember that the pattern of rhythm is said to be the most basic pattern in nature. So next, the pattern of visuals is unpredictable and it often contains fractals. Okay, if the pattern or if it contains fractals, then it is a pattern of visual. Next, the pie graph illustrates how a portion of the data relates to with the whole. Yeah, as you have the okay, imagine a pie graph. It's a pie graph. It's a circle, right? It illustrates how a portion of data relates with the whole. Pie graph, and then there is a portion of the pie. So it illustrates how each of the portion of the pie graph relates with the whole pie graph. So the prime factorization of 273 is have to multiply 3 times 7 times 13 to get the prime factorization of 273. So the prime factorization of 36 is you have to multiply 2 times 2 times 3 and times 3 to get the 36. Oh, to get the prime factorization of 48, have to multiply by 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 and times 3 to get the 48. Same as with the other, you have to multiply this one to get the prime factorization of 56. So the product of 18 and an integer is 1836. Then the integer is 102. We solved that one. So the property illustrated in 5 plus 2 plus 6 equals 5 plus 2 times plus 1 plus 6 is associative property. Okay, the ratio of the sides of a scalene triangle is 1, 3, and 6. If the shortest side is 6 centimeter, then the perimeter of the triangle is 60 meters. Perimeter of the triangle is 60 meter. So the side opposite the right angle of a right triangle is hypotenuse, and each of the other sides is called the leg. Again, the side opposite the right angle of a right triangle is hypotenuse, and each of the other two sides is called the leg. The simplified expression of CSE A and tan A is sec A. Then the simplified expression of x squared minus x plus 1 divided by x cubed plus 1 is x divided by x plus 1. So the slope of the equation 5y equals 3x plus 10 is 3/5, or 3/5. And yeah, that's it. I hope.
Okay, here are the continuation. The small number of observations taken from the total number making up a population is called a sample. The solution set for the equation x squared minus 4x negative 5 equals 0 is positive 5 and negative 1. The sum of 5x squared y, 4x squared y, and 8x squared y is 17x squared y, because the word of sum is we need to add. Okay, 5 plus 4 plus 8 is equals 17. The sum of sides of a polygon is called the perimeter. The value of x squared minus 2 plus 1 equals 0. Okay, 2x negative 3 and 1x squared negative 1, then the result is 4x 2 negative 12 plus 8. If the two angles have their respective legs parallel, they are equal or supplementary. Imposing is not a part of the core cognitive process. Indirect proof or contrapositive proof is a type of proof in which a statement to be proved is assumed false, and if the assumption leads to an impossibility, then the statement assumed false has been proved to be true. Okay. If the attempt to prove the statement false result in a contradiction, it logically follows the original statement must be true. Okay, Jacob Bernoulli is an 18th century Swiss mathematician that introduced the law of large numbers in his The Art of Conjecture in Statistics. This implies that the larger the sample, the more likely will the sample become representative of the population. Okay, according to Jacob Bernoulli. Inductive reasoning is the process of reaching a general conclusion by examining specific examples. Okay, here are the statements. Let P, A, B, D, Q, B statements. Then the contrapositive of is P positive, Q is Q, and P. Okay.
is a measurement of central tendency that is not influenced by outliers, and that we call a mean rather.
Inductive reasoning is the process of reaching a general conclusion by examining a specific. Example, let P, A, B, D, and Q statements, then the contrapositive of P, Q is Q to P. And mean is a measurement of central tendency that is not influenced by outliers. One side of a cube is 3 cm. The ratio of its volume with another cube whose side is 5 cm is 27 and 125. Only 682 examinees pass in social work licensure examination out of 2,550 examinees, which is equivalent to 26.7%. And also, polygon is a hexagon. Precious is twice as old as Nika, 2 years ago. The difference of their present age is 7. Precious present age is 16 years old. So, ang edad ni Precious sa present is 16 years old na. Sound intensity, which is measured using decibel scale, also uses common logarithm. Decibel is named after Alexander Graham Bell. Okay. The 10th number in the sequence 15, 23, and 31 is 87. Muna ang 10th sequence. The 16th century is the era where the importance of mathematics in science stimulated a new mathematics culture where heavy emphasis was given to the proper instruments for measuring, observing, calculating, and recording information. The 3D models are manipulative materials that would help the students discover the formula for the surface area and volume of a prism and pyramid. The approximate shape of the Earth is sphere. So, ang approximate shape sa Earth is sphere. The area of a circle inscribed in a space having a side of 6 centimeters is 9 pi.